Hello, this is Sum Win, and this is my presentation for wireless networking and security class. The topic today will be on cantennas. The first slide is what is a cantenna? A cantenna is a homemade directional waveguide antenna made out of an open-ended metal can. Cantennas are typically used to increase the range of Wi-Fi networks. Cantennas are typically used for extending a wireless local area network. The tiny designs make them ideal for mobile applications such as war driving, which we'll talk about later. Antennas can be used to increase cell phone range, improve reception, and decrease noise. A antenna can be used as a satellite dish feed horn. The 5.5 gigahertz antenna dimensions are almost perfect in that they make a good fit for a standard TV satellite dish. The resulting setup is a low-cost, high-quality, high-gain antenna. Such setups are widely used in wireless community networks for long-distance Wi-Fi links. Antennas may be used with other RF devices such as wireless security cameras. Alright, now we're on the topic of war driving. You can connect your antenna to a Raspberry Pi and use it as a handheld router or war driving machine. War driving is the act of searching for a Wi-Fi wireless network, usually from a moving vehicle, using a laptop or smartphone. Software for war driving is freely available on the internet. War biking, war cycling, war walking are similar and use the same approach, but with other modes of transportation. Antennas are typically used for extending a wireless local area network. While some may claim that war driving is illegal, there are no laws that specifically prohibit or allow war driving, though many localities have laws forbidding unauthorized access to computer networks and protecting personal privacy. So we talked about what is a antenna and using it for war driving. Now we will talk about how does a antenna work. It uses waveguide. The aluminum can acts as a medium for the radio waves to be guided through, hence the term waveguide antenna. Radio waves will be guided into the can and interact with the wire element, which sends a signal down the pigtail cable, and then to your computer or router. Dimensions of the can matter. Each radio frequency has a different wavelength. The wavelength of a signal is the velocity of the wave divided by the frequency. If you can, imagine you can create the waves in a small pool. The velocity is the rate at which the wave changes position. The frequency is how many waves you can make it in X amount of time. The wavelength would be the distance between each wave you produce. Under best conditions, it can reach up to 8 miles. It is important to note that the farther the reach, the smaller the broadcasting pattern. So it's a trade-off with area coverage versus reach. In the last slide, we talked about how dimensions matters in a antenna. Now let's get into the design of a antenna. For this example, we will use a Pringle can. The cylinder proportion of the can may consist of metal-coated paperboard. Although some designs are based on a Pringles potato chips can, this tube is too narrow to increase the 2.4 GHz signal by a useful amount. Although at 5 GHz, it would be about the right size. However, a antenna can be made from various cans or tubes of any appropriate diameter. Some designs include a pole mount to elevate the antenna. At 2.4 GHz, losses can occur if the cable from the antenna to the Wi-Fi circuitry is too long. A more efficient antenna can be made by minimizing the list length or connecting the antenna directly to the Wi-Fi circuitry. On the right is a picture of a Pringles can antenna Wi-Fi. Now let's talk about making a antenna. The first step would be to clean the can. You don't want to leave food in it. That's unsanitary. Next, empty the can to remove one of the can's lid. After that, you remove the can's label. We aren't getting paid to advertise our business on our antenna. No free promotion. Next, you would prepare the can for the end connector. Mark on the can where the copper element will be once the end connector is installed. Drill or cut a hole into the can, making sure that the center of the circle lines up with the measurement in the previous step. Drill 4 screw holes into the can using the end connector as a guide for their location. Cut the copper element to size. Solder the copper element into the end connector. Attach the end connector to the can. Screw the end connector to the can. Connect the antenna to a wireless router or a wireless USB dongle. Screw one end of the pigtail into the antenna end connector. Screw the other end into a compatible router or USB dongle. And ta-da! You are a proud owner of a antenna now. Let's pretend you are too rich to have any cans in the house, but too poor to buy an antenna. There is still a way for you. Let me introduce to you the Walk-Fi. Walk-Fi is a slang term for a style of homemade Wi-Fi antenna consisting of a crude parabolic antenna made with a low-cost Asian wok, spider skimmer, or similar household metallic dish. The dish forms a directional antenna which is pointed at the wireless access point antenna, allowing reception of the wireless signal at greater distance than standard omnidirectional Wi-Fi antennas. A significant advantage is that with a USB modem, the RF signal is converted to a conventional digital signal at the antenna. Therefore, by using a standard USB extension cable, the antennas can be located at a distance from the computer of 5 meters or more, with no concerns over microwave signal losses. That would occur in an RF coaxial cable feed line of that length used to attach a conventional antenna to the RF input of a computer modem. Chaining active USB repeaters, it is possible to locate the antenna at much greater distance from the computer, which is especially useful when line-of-sight obstacles require the antenna to be located on the roof. For example, if using mesh reflectors, usually with the grid under 5 meters, the antenna will be lighter and present a small wind load than larger dishes. Wi-Fi gains are typically 10 decibels with range boosts, thus can be 16 to 30 times over the antenna of a bare USB adapter. Ranges are typically 2 to 3 miles, although an inline pair of similar point-to-point transceiver setups may approach 6 miles over a clear path. In addition, certain improved Wi-Fi antennas and antennas made using 60 to 90 centimeters 2 to 3 feet diameter round or oval satellite TV dishes allow even far greater range and up to 20 kilometers. This is the end of my presentation. Thank you for surviving through the whole thing, and hope you guys did good on your semester.